Going on, everybody? Sawyer here, and just wrapped up this trading day, this trading session. Just gonna go over a couple thoughts and things that I'm working on this week, things that I want to get better at and utilize in my process. So we had a pretty good trade last night on the Asia session. It had all my confluences that lined up where I got my 5 minute, my 1 minute, my volume all lining up properly. And I like to use bracket orders or OCO orders, so that is one cancels the other. Just so immediately when I enter a trade, I have a stop and a target, and I can adjust those as I need to based on my entry and things like that. I usually enter at the market and then I exit on a limit order. And kind of an insight that I've been having lately and thinking about utilizing more in my trading is setting and forgetting type of situation where you enter in the trade. If everything's lining up great and it looks super good, then I'm just gonna put it on and basically do something else and not watch every single tick, because I've realized in the past some of my best trades, biggest ones, are ones that I just allow to work instead of choke off, because you're getting some wiggles and you're kind of sitting at a nice little decent profit and you're kind of worried about giving it back, like all that stuff that we all deal with. And last night I put one on Asia where everything was lining up good, and literally right when I walked away, it hit my target. And I kind of did the same thing today. I got one good trade. It was a big day up on for the indices. But so that's what I'm trying to work on more this week, is setting it and letting it work. As long as your risk is manageable, then there's really no reason to watch every single tick. I've just realized that that is kind of holding me back, is watching every single tick, because then I start to get impatient. Then it almost hits my target, backs off a little bit, and now I'm starting to think, well, should I kind of close this out? Did I have my target a little bit too far there? Because that is something that will kind of set me off a little bit, is when it's like one tick away from my target and then it reverses and you get a loss. So I usually like to put my limits, my targets, just a little bit below where I think the price could go, right? So if you have a particular level, I'm not really usually trying to exceed that level. I'm gonna put it like a few ticks below it, so that I just have a better chance of getting hit. So it's a Monday. I woke up a little late. To be honest with you, I was, a little bit hungover today because I drank a little bit last night, and so that's never good. But sometimes it's good just to sit out the first hour or so of the market anyways, especially on a day like today where it was just super strong uptrend, and I tend to take those reversal retracement types of trades. So over the weekend, I always like to think about what I want to focus on this week and what I want to try to get better at this week. And that's just one of the things that I'm working on this week, is kind of, if something sets up super good, make sure my risk is acceptable, and then just put the trade on and set a reasonable limit order where I think the price is wanting to get to, and kind of distract myself or do something else, make a coffee or, make some food or something, step outside, jump on the rebound, or do something like that, so that I can let the trade work out, instead of micromanaging it and letting the emotions get involved, fear of giving back, fear of loss, blah, 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 so those are things you want to think about. Like over the weekend, I like to do review of my trades, get my plan solid for the week, and then have like 1 or 2 things that I really want to implement this week and work on getting better. In the past, it's been like no tilt days, or if you go on tilt, make them much smaller than they have been previously, and I've been doing really good at that. Implementing and sticking to a max daily loss. I mean, believe it or not, I didn't even have a max daily loss on any of my prop accounts for pretty much like the whole first year. I know it sounds ridiculous. I would have a mental one, but we all know how that goes. It doesn't really tend to work out very good. And, your max daily loss needs to be something like basically a reasonable amount that you can make on a good day. So let's say if a good day for you is $100, your max daily loss should probably be about $100, right? Because otherwise you're going to be getting into a hole, digging out of the hole, which has been, and that can be discouraging, So I'm working on that as well, is not getting into any holes. No big loss on any particular trade, and no big loss on any particular day. So just trying to be more patient and disciplined, super disciplined. It's all about just trying to be a better trader. It's not about trying to make more money. That will come through being a better trader. So it's all these different things, sticking to your plan, sticking to a max daily loss, never having a bigger losing day than you can reasonably expect on a nice winning day. So hopefully some of these ideas helped you out a little bit, and I'll talk to you on the next one.